Chronicles of the Origin System. Excerpt 5. Mag. Mag stood as one of the Tenno's first and most formidable creations, wielding the power of magnetism to twist the very fabric of reality. As the Lotus once described, she is unyielding as the pull of the stars. Her ability is born from the boundless cosmic forces that hold the universe together. In the heat of the old war against the sentients, Mag's powers were vital in tearing through the enemy's adaptive defenses, drawing their metal limbs and armored forms into devastating fields of collapse. She became a weapon of precise and overwhelming force, embodying the Tenno's mastery over elements the Oricon once thought untouchable. After the sentients were subdued, Mag turned her powers against the Oricon who had created and enslaved the Tenno. The Lotus referred to her as a force of rebellion, a beacon to those who dared to defy their creators. With her mastery of magnetic fields, she could turn the technology of the Oricon against them, disrupting and dismantling their strongest defenses with ease. In the early days of the rebellion, the first Tenno rallied behind Mag as she shattered both Oricon machines and the oppressive order they represented. To this day, Mag's presence resonates as a reminder of the Tenno's defiance, a fractured light in the darkness, whose strength could not be contained. Mag served as a bridge between the Tenno and the cosmic forces they were learning to control, fighting not only for freedom, but for the power to shatter the limits the Oricon had imposed on their kind. In the echoes of the old war, Mag remains a testament to the Tenno's first victories, an unbreakable beacon, defying both her enemies and the very laws of the Origin System. To this day, Mag endures, a relentless reminder from the shadows of the old war, forever bound to rise and shatter any force daring to chain the Tenno again. Mag. The Fractured Light.
Oh hey dreamers, fancy meeting you guys here. This is our level 9999 Mag Showcase build, and yeah, you heard that right. This is our level cap Mag build. This is going to be a strength focused build, not incorporating too much of duration, range, or efficiency, but single target high burst DPS in your face damage. And when I say in your face, I mean one shot every single enemy that comes your way. Now the best part about this is even though we are going to be focusing on high single target DPS, there will be a lot of quality of life in this build that allows you to incorporate a limited AoE ability. But without further ado, let's jump right into the abilities. Smite is an ability that does 500 damage distributed evenly between impact and radiation, as well as a guaranteed knockdown and radiation status effect. The affected target emits 6 orb projectiles that seek out enemies over a duration of 12 seconds, and each orb will deal 150 radiation damage plus 35% of the main target's maximum health and shields, divided among the number of orbs. Juicy. Now, on its own, it's not that great. Everything goes willy-nilly and jumps around, but with the use of Magnetize, we will focus Smite into being one major, massive DPS increase. And with Magnetize's damage multiplier of 6.26 in this case, we are ensuring that Smite does the overall maximum amount of damage. But that is not where it ends. We are also going to be implementing the ability Polarize, which depletes enemy shields and armor, restoring our shields and ally shields, as well as giving us a damage multiplier and inflicting slash status effect, which also can be used within the magnetized bubble, as the debris field from Polarize will be orbiting us and will be pulled into the magnetized bubble, increasing our damage. We will also be using Crush and the Augment Fracturing Crush, which increases the casting speed of Crush, allowing us to permanently reduce armor and temporarily immobilize survivors. Juicy. We will also be using Arcane Steadfast and Arcane Energize to maximize our energy management. Free cast equals more cast. Now, here is where the build itself really comes into its power. We are going to be implementing 5 Tau-Forged Violet Archon Shards with plus 15% ability on enemies affected by electricity status, in conjunction with Magnetize and Smite. Now, this is going to eventually pump us up 75% ability damage when we employ the use of an electricity status effect, essentially double dipping and giving ourselves 3x damage. Well, Demon Prince, where am I going to get the electricity status? Let me show you. We are going to be employing 1, 2, potentially 3 separate methods. Now, our primary method is going to be our secondary primer, which is, in my opinion, going to be the Kuva Nukor. It is just perfectly developed for it, and instead of doing single target priming, we are going to be able to smack the shit out of every single enemy that comes our way with a beautiful amount of AoE priming. With about 150%, 180% status chance, electricity, viral, radiation, and magnetic, we are already encompassing almost a max load within our condition overload basis for some of our weapons, but we are adding that 75% ability damage onto Smite, on top of that damage multiplier from Magnetize, and potentially the armor reduction from Crush, as well as the damage multiplier from Polarize and the slash status effects, which in turn is going to ensure that you literally one-shot any enemies. So the method is pull the Nukor out, nuke them, hit them with Magnetize, hit them with Smite, watch them go bye-bye. This works all the time. Not only that, but a magnetic built Kuva Nukor is absolutely amazing for high level enemies. This Nukor build right here literally melts level 9999, no problem. It speaks for itself. Now slot in secondary encumber to absolutely ensure that you are maximizing your status proc output. You will absolutely devastate everything. Now, on to method number 2 of applying electricity status effects. We will be incorporating the use of our beautiful Nautilus Prime. Now, this is going to work for electricity status as well as our energy management. We are going to be using Synth Deconstruct with Equilibrium, Arcane Energize, and Arcane Steadfast to make sure that we never run out of energy. This is an energy hungry build, so the one thing that we don't want to happen is we run out of energy. Now, by slotting in calculated redirection, we are able to use Reinforced Bond, and the use of Verglas Prime with a crit chance mod as well as a crit chance ribbon will allow us to use Tenacious Bond, giving us a 1.2x final crit damage multiplier, which is absolutely fantastic. And then Reinforced Bond will give us that 60% fire rate with shields over 1200. Both are quality of life. They are not completely necessary, but to make sure that you live throughout an entire 2, 3, 4, 5 hour mission, you need to make sure that your weapons are on par too. From there, we're going to slot in Manifold Bond, which is going to allow us to apply status effects from our companion weapons to our preset mods, as well as killing enemies with 3 or more unique status effects, allowing us to reduce the ability cooldown, letting us use more of Cordon, which is going to group up enemies. Momentous Bond is going to allow us to kill enemy Eximus units and apply the status effects or the damage auras that the Eximus units have onto our companion weapons and mod precepts. And then Contagious Bond is going to allow us to spread all of that damage, which is in turn going to just help us increase the condition overload that we might potentially have on our weapons, as well as ensure that we are applying electricity status effect to the most amount of enemies as possible. Now, I can't stress enough, this is a massive spread. So on our Verglas Prime, we are also going to be incorporating viral and electricity. Now, to make sure that we do the most amount of damage as possible on Smite, we are going to want a 10 stack with viral. We will get that with our Kuva Nukor, as well as the mod precepts and the status effects from the Verglas Prime with the Nautilus Prime. So this is just completely ensuring that not only do we have the electricity status effect, but we also have the 10 stacks of viral on every single enemy that we focus our attention on. Now, because we are using secondary encumber, we will be ensuring that we do get stacks of corrosive as well as heat, but we don't need it because we will be using fracturing crush in case we do need a full armor strip. But more than likely, you will not need that. Now, with the Verglas itself, if you don't have a good ribbon for it, or you don't have a high crit chance ribbon, you're more than welcome to slot out Tenacious Bond for something else, Duplex, Astral, whatever you'd like. But I would say in this circumstance, if you were looking to do a 2, 3, 4, 5 hour mission and get to level cap, you are going to want that 1.2 crit damage multiplier. It is a final crit multiplier, so it does help out a lot. Now onto our amps. We are going to be employing the use of the Clamora Lore Embrace and the Pod Scaffold. This is going to actually ensure that we do a higher status chance with our void damage, and it also gives us a circumstance of applying bullet attractors randomly to the enemies when we switch to our operator. We will be incorporating Moderai, we will be using Magus Lockdown and Emergence Renewed. Magus Lockdown, when we Void Sling, will ensure that we lock the enemy down and make them immobilized for a few seconds, and Emergence Renewed will ensure that we get a high amount of energy regeneration for our operator when we deplete our energy. Pair that with Eternal Onslaught and Eternal Eradicate, and you will also be able to perfectly melt any enemy with your operator alone. So with that said, this is the showcase of the level cap mag build. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you guys want more future Warframe content. Be sure to follow these Warframe content creators. This is Chronicles of the Origin System, and this is the Demon Prince showing you how to damage cap the Origin System. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you in the Void.